What's good with YouTube? You already know, Big Flacco with the convict's perspective. And I'm going to smash, dash, and slide on through with a whole lot of energy, man, because I got my partner coming out of Texas, man, Noel. Tell me about your YouTube channel, brother.
So what's going on, man? It's your boy Noel, man. I'm out of Dallas, Texas, at the north side, man, from Forest Lane all the way to Northwest Highway. You know, my YouTube channels are called Texas Street Stories / Collectibles of Texas. You know, I talk a little bit of everything about what happens on these Texas streets. You know, I didn't do too much time in the prison system. You know, I was only a short time.
Though.
I only did 3 years. Yeah, I only did 3 years, man. For the things that I did, you know, I was blessed to get away with it and do very short time. And for what I did, man, it's just like a funny case.
Most definitely. So, you know, the way me and Noel touched base was Rojo went and insulted all of Texas. No, I'm just playing.
No, he did, man. We started out like in bad terms, man, you know. But it's all good, man. You know, it was just misunderstanding, man. You know, after I reviewed your videos, and it was just like, oh man, you know.
I had to show him the video I did 2 months before that was totally different than what he thought I was talking about, man. I wasn't really I understood where everything about the Tango was. And I wanted to make sure, I made sure that I had to sit there and show him this video. I go, look, bro, I did this video 3 months before. But yeah, man, appreciate you though, man. It's the stuff that you've been sharing about the Tango, right? And we want to talk about the SPM.
No, man, it's like not everybody, man. You know, this is gonna be my opinion, man. You know, as a father and a grandfather, man, you know, with the SPM, you know, nobody can take that he did create music, man. You know, he did have some good music. Yeah. But once society labels you a certain thing, it's hard to associate yourself with that kind of thing. You know, I'm not labeling him a sex offender. You know, society, you know, he got tried by society, you know, the judge and the jurors convicted him and labeled him a sex offender, you know. So when you get classified in one of those categories, you know, you can't really stand behind that. You know, on the streets, it's the norm to be around thieves, robbers, murderers. You know, that's the norm. You know, that's what's around you. You know, that comes with the game on the streets. You know, but when you associate with somebody that has a sex offender, you know, you're going to be labeled as a sex offender. And do you really want to be association with somebody under that category? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what trips me out the most, and I want to know what your opinion is, right? I've given my opinion a little bit on it, but at the end of the day, I've always said this: it's not really my business because that's a Texas issue. You know what I'm saying? That's not any, and you always have a lot of people, especially the LA rappers, have kind of been pushing that issue real hard at the Texas cats, man. And you know, technically, it's not their fucking business, to be honest with you. It's how you guys want to deal with it. That's your guys' business. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, and the way it works down here, man, it's like this. If somebody from Houston, which is South Park, you know, South Park is from Houston. So the way it goes down here, if somebody with that bad kind of charges, it would be up to Houston Tango to clean that up. It wouldn't be up to us, you know, because I'm Dallas Tango. You know,
yeah,
we're association, but since he's from Houston, that would be Houston Tango's cleanup. You know, they would get the first pickets because they would make him want to pay, make him ride, whatever they wanted to do with them. That was Houston Tango's first picking. That's their job.
And that would be the same thing in California, right? And I don't know where the politics changed. Before, if you were a Wood, if you were a Black, Crip, Blood, whatever, Norteño, Sureño, Baisa, if you fucked up, it was only your car's business. It was nobody else's car to fucking sit there and have an opinion or whatnot. Now everybody feels like they could voice their opinion on another group's political trash. You don't know what a person may have went through politically. You don't know if it was a political issue, if it was personal or whatnot. You know, with SPM, like I said, it's kind of hard because where there's smoke, there's usually a fire, right? And you know, it's not one issue, it's multiple. You know, he had a baby with a young chick, right? Then he had the
multiple issues, man.
You know,
it's multiple issues.
Maybe the last one, maybe it could be questionable because she was way too young. You know what I mean? But the other,
there's some. No, I mean, I give him on one. Once, man, one, he might have some kind of argument. You know, he got, you know, there's an argument on one, you know, but if you go into it and you read it, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. There's no way of sidestepping it and say, no, he didn't do it. You know, and the thing that trips me out, man, what I hear a lot of these dudes that support him is that, oh, the victim is saying all these kinds of statements to certain people. Oh, the victim's making these type of statements that she was told, coerced by her parents that, you know, say this, tell him this. So, okay, we're talking about 20 something years later. If that was true, SPM would have hired some kind of attorney, found the victim, and say, hey, man, this victim's out here saying all these kinds of statements saying that it was the truth. You know, the man got millions. He could have fined her just like how these other so-called dudes have been told that these statements. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, you know, to have an argument with the dude.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what's the overall census of people in Texas? How do they feel about it? Honestly,
man, a lot of people are giving them a pass because they still need him for his, you know, rap resources. A lot of people still want to be rappers instead of being grown men and handling up their business. They're still, you know, when I was in the traps, man, the early 90s, 2000s, we all wanted to be rappers. You know, we all would rap, you know, but, you know, most of us were too busy making money that, you know, we weren't really worrying about rappers. You know, the homeboys that I had that were trying to be rappers, they didn't have no money in their pockets. So I'm like, I don't want to do that, you know?
Yeah.
So, and a lot of these dudes, there's a lot of them that support it, man. It's a sad, man, because all you really have to do is take your time and read the documents, and you can make the choice for yourself. You know, nobody has to tell you that he's this or that. Just go and read it yourself. And if you have a father and you have a conscience, you know he's a sex offender.
So I was working at Home Depot in California, right? Northern California. Yeah. I worked with 2 upstate Sureños, right? And they argued with me over SPM. It was a trip. They're like, "No, he's all good. He's all good." And I'm like,
"No, man.
Charges, man." I'm like, "I don't know about that, man." You know, we were having that. You know, so people, he has fans everywhere. People don't realize that, and some people want to believe that nothing happened.
Nah, man.
Go ahead.
No, you just got to read the documents, man. I mean, a lot of people just don't want to take the time. I mean, you can't take the dude. He did have some good music, man, you know, but at the same time, you can't associate yourself with somebody that's been categorized that by society. You know, I didn't give him the label of sex offender. No, only society, you know, the laws of society, you know, said he's a sex offender. Just like if you're a murderer, your society tells you you're a murderer. Society tells you you're a thief, you're a thief. Your society says you're a drug dealer, you're a drug dealer. That's what you're categorized. You know, they don't look at. So for people to associate themselves with the sex offender, it's no different than the dude down the street that's a sex offender. Are you going to bring him over to the cookout? Are you going to support him when he's asking for a GoFundMe? Are you going to go drop 20, 30 bucks on his GoFundMe? It's the same scenario.
And it does open the doors for people from out of state to really start to criticize too. I get, you know what I mean? You know, with Capone and all them too. But at the end of the day, man, it's like, say it once, leave it alone. You know what I mean? It ain't really no one's business. You know what I mean? Now you got citizens getting jumped over listening to his music. I think that's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. Well, when I seen that, man, that everybody has the right to listen to it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, be ready for the backlash. You know, somebody's always going to say something. You know, so do you really want to stand behind that? It's a losing battle. Because there's nothing you can really stand on and be like, hey, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go to battle for that. You know, I'm gonna stand on that. You know, so
I couldn't be around them. I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the age of the victims, I could not. There's no way. It's not just because it's when you have multiple victims, that's the problem. That is the biggest issue. Is there's not just one. He had a baby with one, and I don't care. In the 90s, them chicks did not look like they were fucking 18 when they were 12 and 13 years old back then. No, there's no way. You knew better. And he was what, 25, 26? He was old enough. He knew better.
Yeah, you know better, man.
But that's a growing issue, though. People forget. But check this out, though. In those during that time era, I remember going to high school. I remember vatos that were in their 20s picking up on 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds at the high school and all that, man. A
Yeah,
lot of
it
people
was
were
the
doing it
norm.
back then, and people don't talk about that either.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
it was the norm, man. Because it was like even in being in junior high, you couldn't compete with all the dudes that had cars, man. The older,
Yeah.
we were 14, 15. We still going to school on the school bus. These other guys are already working 9 to 5. They already got a baby at the house. Now they're looking for some young piece of meat that don't know better. They just see the dude in the car. Hey, I seen it all the time when I was growing up. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah, man.
But when society labels
no
you,
one wants to admit that. No one wants to admit that, man, but that happened, man. There's a lot of people that are probably criticizing SPM that were fucking the same dudes that were in their 20s chasing after 14-year-olds, man. Guarantee you
yeah,
that,
man,
though, man. And I don't
yeah,
support SPM. Like I said, for what he did,
nah.
cool. I'm just saying that there's a lot of hypocrites out there, though, man. With their own.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, man. There's a lot of them, man. But once society labels you a sex offender, man, there's no. We're talking about today's times. We got to look at it today. When you're labeled a sex offender, you can't just stand behind it. You can't just support it.
It's the worst of the worst, man. It's the ones that you can't get no lower than that, man, because it's a kid, and that's the problem with it, man. It's man, it's just you would hate to think that people would try to fucking make a story up like that. I know our system's fucked up, but I believe someone would have caught it, and he had the money. You're gonna tell me after all this time he didn't try to appeal this? Fuck yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's what I say. He got some money, man. There's no appeals. A lot of these dudes, like I said, they're first. The victim said this to this person that it wasn't true. So I'm like, if she's telling all these statements to these random people, how come SPM can't get these type of SPM these kind of statements for his appeal? That would have helped out his case. He would have probably been released, and people would have probably looked at him different, be like, oh no, there's evidence now, there's paperwork saying that she got told by her parents to say this, but there's no paperwork. There's all you're hearing is people. Oh, she told this to this person, she told it to this person. Then why she ain't telling it to SPM's lawyer?
It's like Michael Jackson, right? It's like Michael Jackson. You knew something was wrong there, right? Everybody knew something was wrong.
But he paid millions.
Having sleepovers with kids was just not fucking normal, but nobody wanted to accept it as being wrong. They wanted to make every fucking excuse for it.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Jackson paid millions, man. So he did it.
No, yeah, for sure. You know what
I mean, you either gonna pay or you're gonna go to jail. SPM didn't have enough money to pay the people, so he had to go to jail. Michael had millions. He was able to buy the system.
So because he's from Houston, though, right? Like that's like Lucky Luciano and all that, right?
Yeah,
I like Lucky Luciano, man. I'm kind of glad that he's doing his little Christian thing, man. I be tapping into him and his wife's doing their little podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, and that's the only one that I really listen to, man. Since the '90s and to now, because he's kind of evolved. He's kind of evolved to where, I want to be one day. And that is not financially, but we're right with God. That's who I want to be right with, man. Because the older we get, man, it's the closer we're gonna get, and you want to get right with that guy before that time comes. We made it this far, I just want to get right.
So as you were talking about the street politics and in prison politics, so that would be the Houston Tango's job to deal with them.
Yeah, right? Man, because that's how it works, man. If somebody from Houston that's a no good, they're gonna get the first pickings. That's their responsibility. They're gonna either want him to ride, either pay, or they might just want to fuck him up for no reason, just kick his ass, or it's whatever they want to do. It's their first call. We can't just jump on the dude because the dude's going to be like, hey, we wanted that dude to ride. We had other plans before y'all jumped on him. Now they tell us, hey, he's no good. Y'all do whatever. Y'all want to do whatever, then we can do whatever. But it's their duty, to clean up their crap.
It's the same as California, except for like we don't have no Tango. We basically have the two groups, the North and the South. So it'd be if he was a Northerner, it'd be the Northerner's job to take care of it. If he was a Southerner, it'd be the Southerner's job to take care of it. and you as a
Yeah.
northerner or bison or bulldog, you have no say so in it. It's not your business. Like we used to always say that, you know, for any group to get involved in our politics in people that are our issues, that was a no-no. That was like the biggest disrespect that could happen, is to even speak on our dropouts or even try to touch our dropouts back then. Now everybody wants to attack everybody's pieces dropouts now. It's crazy, man. You know,
Yeah, man.
what?
But that's the way it works, man. You know, that's where his fan base is at, man. A lot of Houston and the cities around him, they support the dude. Even Dallas
Yeah.
supports him, man. A lot of people, man, but not everybody supports him, man. You know, because you go through the comments and people will be reading the comments and, nah, man, you know, we don't support him. You know,
Yeah.
But it's sad to say, man, that a lot of older homeboys that were Tango blessed in the '90s that got tired of that life are now becoming Christians.
That's, you know what?
You know,
That's a good thing, though, man. You know, I think that
and,
happens. I think that's kind of like the universal kind of. You get to that point to where you go full throttle with it, or you change your ways, man. If you want to, I think going Christian is the best way for someone to maintain some type of what do you call it, respectable standings. If they do it for the right
yeah,
reasons, though.
if you do it for the right reason, man.
Because I remember
And I think
back in our days, our
and
politics, right? Because we had lower numbers, right, on a lot of yards, and the South would be predominant on a lot of yards, right? So a lot of homeboys would get sent down south, and there'd only be like 8 of them, and there'd be like 300 Southerners. Next thing you know, they're picking up the Bible. You know, to us, that would be a cowardly act.
yeah, because they're scared.
Hey, I got told, hey, do you believe in the Bible? I said, yeah, but I go, I'm not going to take that route. You know what I mean? I ended up taking off on someone, you know, but there was
Yeah, that's that.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
you can't play with God like that, man. You know, you know, and you can't really play with God like that, man, because you know God will punish you, man. You know, if you half step with him, and you know, if with God, man, I feel like if you're gonna go, you're gonna go full hearted, just like everything else. You know, like everything else you did in life, you did it at 100%, and you wanted a good outcome of it. I think that's the same way you should look at God, you know, and that's why I haven't committed to that way, man. Because you know, I still like smoking weed. You know, I still like worldly stuff. You know, and once I get over that hump, you know, I'll make that full commitment. But what I was saying about the older homeboys from Houston that were Tango blast is that they're embracing South Park because now he's converted to Christianity.
Oh, and the Christianity way is yeah, I get that, man. I've had discussions
So
with Pastor Pastor
yeah,
Rochester Dino. I told him, I go, bro, I can't accept this, and he goes, he understood. I told him, I go, I don't know how to get over that, because you're supposed to not judge anybody, right?
yeah, man,
But that's harder not to judge, especially if you're a parent. Man. You know,
it's kind of hard, man.
you know, I think I tell you this though, I guarantee you, if this would happen in California, there would have been a good chance that maybe that shit would have got swept under the rug for this. That money.
Yeah, for money. Yeah, for money, man.
They would say, oh, they would not let it get pushed out. They would have fucking put a cover on them. That could have happened, bro. I'm telling you that right now, because there's times where I know one time we're trying to get the dude for $50,000 and we're gonna fucking clear him. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, man, I want no part of that shit, man. You know? And there's been other rappers that have had charges on them. 2 of them I know. You know,
Yeah,
similar charges. Not as bad as the final one that he had, right? But they all got passes a little bit because it was more. But see, some of these dudes play that role, right? And I think they all know. But the first time you have to give them the benefit, they say that they didn't know. And if they're in that kind of age bracket that's kind of close, like 18 to 22, you kind of got to say, okay, you didn't know, okay. But if it happens more than once, yeah, still, you know. But there was a lot of rappers that, and because they're out there rapping, and let's just keep it real. Most grown women are not going to be fucking turned down by no fucking rapper. You know what I'm saying? They already know the game. They already know all that. But a young chick, they're easy to manipulate, man. That's why rappers always get in trouble with them, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, it's you know, you really can't stand on what he stands for, you know, man. I mean, and just to sit there and say you can support by listening to his music, you know, it's just like putting money into the sex offender up the street. You know, the views from wherever you watch his music at, you're just putting money into his pocket. You know, he's getting money in his pocket. You know, it ain't not to knock his man's hustle, man. You know, but you got to understand, if you're going to support a sex offender, you got to support all the sex offenders. You know, and if that's what you stand for, then you really don't have no morals as a man. You know.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, well, we're gonna tap in on another video in a few minutes, man. I gotta go to this premiere real quick, brother. As soon as that's done,
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna do one for your channel too, and then I'll edit it and send it your way.
All right, appreciate it, Flacco.
All right, brother. I'm gonna hit you back up.
All right, have a good one, man.
You too.